What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about HBAR today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, okay? Here we are, sitting at about 23.6 cents now, down 22.9% on the month so far. But there is good news, my friends. You did find support right here at this previous area of resistance, literally right at that tip there. You tipped it. You also found support at previous areas of support here, month after month here on a closing basis as well. And then on the RSI, you hit the overbought zone. This month you are out of the overbought zone, right? Because January you were all the way up here, February you're down here, but that's only because you're down 22.9%. If by the end of this month, which already I think you're off to a good start because you have such a big wick here. You got a really big wick, HBAR. Hedera's got the big wick up in here. That big wick energy is going to carry out through the rest of the month. 18 days, 19 hours left. I assume that this candle, the body is going to pull its skirt up a little bit. It'll close closer to this. If it does do that, we run a chance to be in a really good position where you could close closer to this overbought zone. Anytime you get overbought, you pull back, you bounce off the overbought zone, that sets you up for some pretty immaculate growth. And on a monthly time frame, one of the most significant time frames, that's an ideal kind of situation to be in. So this month, closing red is not a bad thing. Closing down even this red is not a bad thing. But if it could close somewhere around, I would say 28 cents, maybe even 29 cents, I think that would be ideal. If not, whatever. Close higher. Close green. That's okay. You won't get the bounce off the overbought zone, but you will just continue to grow. That's fine too. Whatever. We'll take what we can get, I suppose. But I do think that a red month close would set you up for a nice bounce opportunity off the overbought zone. It cools off the RSI a little bit, puts it in a position of strength, allows it to grow more. I think it wouldn't be a bad thing. High to low here. This high here was September of 2021. This low here was December of 2022. So this is your bull market top to bear cycle low, high to low. Okay. The minimum expected target whenever you break out of this range, you break out of this kind of fib retracement zone here, the minimum expected target would be $1.21 right there at your 1272. The maximum expected target would be at about $3.15. So something in this zone is coming your way once you break above the 886. The 886 is at about 41.5 cents. Okay, generally speaking, you don't even think, I mean, well, you can think about it, but you don't assume that you'll see these prices anytime soon until you get some days or weeks or a month to close above the 886, which again, that's at about 41.5 cents. So closing above that area, very, very important, because a close above 41.5 cents literally suggests that at a minimum you would move up another 190%. That's phenomenal, right? That's a phenomenal little green line to break above right there. It also correlates pretty well with your recent highs. So just get above those highs. And I mean, getting above your recent highs anyways does suggest more growth. But doing that, getting above your highs and getting above the 886, getting above your prior cycle highs, which are also your all-time highs, just all these bullish barriers of resistance that you break through, no wonder you would move up at least to $1.21. But why stop there? There's a completely real possibility that you go to $1.79, even higher than that. I don't think you break above $2 personally. I think you could reach for $2, maybe get just above it, but probably just below it. The highest I'd give you is $3.15 for sure, but I don't think you get there. Just being real. I accept it as a possibility though. If we look at HBAR, we compare it to others. Okay, HBAR here. HBAR USD on crypto, others on crypto market cap, sure, right there. Press enter. So this chart, whenever it's bearish, means that HBAR is outperforming the average altcoin. Whenever it's going up, that means that HBAR is underperforming the average altcoin, or the average altcoin is outperforming HBAR. Okay, so HBAR grew a lot in November. It grew more than the average coin. So this chart took a dive. If the chart moves up, that's a bad thing for HBAR. It's not necessarily a bad thing for HBAR's price. It just means relative to the rest of the market, it's not performing as well. So this means you should have been holding HBAR. This means why the hell are you holding HBAR? You could hold anything else and likely you'd make more money. It does look like we want to go down. It looks like you fell off a cliff. I assume that you will see some kind of standard retracement from this low to this high over here, right below your 382, just crushed right through it. I definitely believe that HBAR has more growth to go versus the average altcoin here. In percentage forms, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be different because a move down, while that's only a 30% move down, you know, to the same degree but to the upside, 30%, you know, it's different. It's different. 30% here, hold on. 30% there, you can see it's smaller. It's a little bit smaller height-wise than 30% to the downside is. Even 27% because downward moves are bigger. I want to get this. I don't know how much sense this part's making, but just stick with me, okay? I'm gonna try to figure this out real quick. I want to find something out because I think what we've just determined is HBAR is going to outperform the average altcoin probably in the coming weeks and months. But how much is it going to outperform? High here, low there. Sure. Up to your 382. Okay, cool. From this area. So HBAR is going to outperform by 80%. Okay, that's cool. I expect the average altcoin, because I've done this chart already tonight, I've done the other chart, I expect the average altcoin to grow about 170% at a minimum, which by this definition would then imply that HBAR's minimum percentage growth is 250. I expect the average altcoin at a maximum to do about a 4.2x, which would then imply that HBAR's maximum would be about a 5x. So a 3.5x to a 5x is what we could see with HBAR. 3.5 to 5x. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you don't know where I derived it from, just trust me. We're going with a 3.5 to a 5x. Okay, now we're going to look at HBAR and see if that makes sense. 3.5 to 5x. That was just comparing it to what we see in the others chart, what we could expect to see versus others here. 3.5 to 5x. Okay. So your minimum target from the current price would be, that's about a 5x actually. So it might make sense to stop there. Your maximum target, which I said would be just below $2, that's about an 8x. To me, just looking at the others chart, I feel like it makes more sense probably then that HBAR doesn't get to $1.79, it doesn't get above there, but rather it stops around $1.20. That makes a lot more sense to me. I don't think you stop anywhere below it, but looking at the others comparison, it is harder for me to assume that you go. I think you could see a 6x. You might even be able to see a 7x, but something that's around $2, I don't think so. So really $1.80, probably just below there. $1.21, probably just above there, would be my expectation for HBAR by the end of this move right now. I want to look at some shorter term time frame stuff, and then we'll finish up the video, right? Actually, looking at HBAR, if it'll load. Do I have to type? Oh, right up here. HBAR. $9 billion market cap. It's been around for a little bit. HBAR, man. What? It's number 18. Isn't that crazy? Number 18. That's just insane, man. High to low. Let's see. You're at a $9 billion market cap. So a 10x. 10x gives you 90. That's about 90 right there, 10x. One moment. That would make sense why you might find resistance here, because that's your $100 billion market cap, right around that area, just below it, in fact. So you might find some turbulence there, and that's fine if you do. But I think you will break through that. So if you break through that, HBAR automatically then would be worth hundreds of billions of dollars by the end of the cycle, and I could see that happening. So $6.62 being a good cycle maximum or minimum target, maybe. I suppose 315, man, you could hit that on this next move. So I don't think that's an appropriate minimum target. I really do think 662 is an appropriate minimum, and then 1930 might be an appropriate maximum. But man, that's an 80x from a $9 billion market cap. I don't know. Sounds a bit intense to me, man. On a 9 billion, 80x, a 10x would be 90. I mean, that'd be it'd be like a 700 something billion dollar market cap, man. That's too much. I don't think HBAR sees $20. It's possible. It depends on how crazy this crypto cycle goes, but I don't think it sees that. I suppose 20 is the maximum I'd give HBAR by the end of the cycle. I certainly feel like 662 as a given minimum is a good one. You really might stop right in between 20 and 662. You might just stop right there at about $10. Nice psychological area of resistance. Either way, man, I think HBAR genuinely has a 28x to a 40x in the bag, somewhere in that zone, maybe as high as about an 80x, but I have a very hard time seeing that myself. But it's possible. I accept it as a possibility. I just don't see that happening. But with that, I leave you. I got nothing else to say. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We could look at some short-term stuff real quick. I meant to do this, but I just kind of forgot. Right, looking at the RSI, man, the RSI looks really good. I'm actually expecting some coins to go down, but HBAR looks like it wants to move up today, low to high. Yeah, moving up. Get above 25.36 cents. That'll solidify this as a low and solidify the idea that you're moving up higher as well. Get above 25.36 cents. Okay, that's your goal. You're at 23.5 cents right now. If you don't get above this line today, that's okay. Just get above it. Just get above it. That's all I'm asking for. Get above it, stay above it, and that likely will trigger and signal your next move up, which again is anywhere from about $1.20 to $1.80, likely around that $1.20 area is what I would guess. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here.